G'day folks, Andy here from McDowall Manor. So as you can see here in the fridge, I do have quite a lot of quail eggs. So that's 4 dozen, and then I've got chicken eggs as well. So I'm going pretty well in the egg steaks at the moment, which is leading me to pickle 2.5 dozen quail eggs. For those who saw Dale, I saw Dale do this probably a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, you end up with a lot of quail eggs and you really got to find ways to store them. I've got a slightly different recipe, although I am going to steal Dale's vinegar, soak it in vinegar to get rid of the shell, because I like that idea. So we'll do that, and mine are actually a golden pickled quail egg. So far I'm doing the same things that Dale did. I'll put a link to Dale, his video where Dale Calder, where he pickled his eggs. I've got a couple of eggs floating now. I'm not concerned about that. Any that immediately float I get rid of. Any that don't immediately float but come up later means I've cracked the shell. So as soon as it comes to the boil, I turn them off. Okay, that water's cooled now. I can put my hand in there. So we're going to empty that out and replace it with vinegar, just plain old white vinegar. So I just used enough to cover them. I'll probably leave it about 3 hours. You can see it's starting to fizz already. I'll leave it. This has been in 2 minutes. I literally had time to put on the coffee machine, which is the noise you can hear, is a coffee dripper later. And the acid in this vinegar is strong enough. I can already see it. Not only is it fizzing, but if you look over there, for example, you can see it's started to peel the outside of the shell straight off. So there's no way I'm going to need the full 3 hours. Maybe our vinegars over here are a little bit stronger, I don't know. And there we go, for example's sake. So we'll give these a clean up now. Still feels a little hard, a bit eggy, a bit shellish, but we'll have a look and see. So there they are around the base of the to the dripper later. Yeah, I'd describe it. I think what's left is a little bit more than just the inner membrane. I suspect it's a very thin layer of shell too, but that might actually be quite useful because it should make it much easier to peel. So we'll have a bit of a go and see how it works. So you can probably see, I've tried to put it towards the light so you can see there is a bit of a divot in the front, not much, where I've sort of pulled a little bit away. If you've ever peeled a boiled quail egg, let me tell you, this is 1,000 times easier. Just needs a little snip somewhere to give you the first bit to grab onto, and then virtually peels off. None of that break the bottom off or break the top off or any of that. So yeah, much easier way. So as you know, I am one of those people who like to give credit where credit is due. So this came from a website, Mother Earth News, golden pickled quail eggs. And now I haven't followed most of the directions because obviously I've combined a couple of methods here. You should be able to read the ingredients rather than have me read them all out. So the pickling liquid is in fact put in a saucepan and boiled for 30 minutes and then it's cooled down. I'm not canning these eggs, folks. If I was canning them, I'd add an extra step and boil it with the lid on loosely. Once I finished. On the whole, it's a fairly Middle Eastern-y, I'd describe it. It uses pepper. You've got cinnamon, you've got the allspice, you've got the pepper, and you've got the turmeric, which I think are pretty Middle Eastern-ish. I'm going to use my own turmeric, and clearly, folks, that's what makes it golden pickled eggs. Alright, so that spice mix is on the heat. We're going to bring that to a boil, then we're going to simmer for 30 minutes. Just checking that I showed you the peeled eggs. There they are there. The odd one's a bit hacked up, you'll see. But for the most part, they're 1,000 times better than I've ever done before. And there we have 1 bottle of pickling quail eggs. So I just waited till that mixture cooled after I'd simmered it. popped the eggs in the bottle, poured the mixture on top, made sure I had all the peppercorns and stuff and threw them in as well. And I'll let you know how that tastes, eh? Well, 2 days has passed and I think it's time to eat our golden pickled quail eggs. We'll eat one anyway, just for a test run. I know I said I didn't can that jar, but by God I had trouble getting the lid off. The liquid is still well and truly warm when I put it in. And of course that all contracts, and whoa, that was one heck of a seal. Had to cut it open with a knife. But we're about to try said quail egg. Okay, that's good. Alright, will I do that again? Hell yeah. That's a nice mix. Reasonably sweet. You get the kick of the vinegar. Not getting a lot of the pepper, but very nice. I'm not over big on pickles, and for me that was pretty much perfect. Well, there you go, folks. At least that's been a success.